If you do not have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Isn't that how the saying goes? Hi, beautiful people. Welcome once again. Yes. I know it's been a minute. I've been a little bit under the weather, but I am 100% healthy and feeling dandy and ready to go. Yes, guys. Welcome once again to my channel. Today, let's talk compliments. Yes, guys. First of all, what is a compliment? A compliment is a polite expression of praise, admiration, or even respect. Yes. And what does that do? When you give someone a compliment, it makes them feel good, it makes them feel loved, it makes them feel appreciated and assured. But all of this I just mentioned can go awry if you don't give the compliment the right way. I know some people will be like, which one is give compliment the right way again? Guys, yes, so there are right and wrong ways to give compliments. And today I am going to be sharing with you 5 tips of things that you should avoid when giving a compliment, or things that you should look out for, kind of like the don'ts, like things that you shouldn't do when giving someone a compliment. So let's just dive right into it. Number one is tone. Guys, you need to be careful of the tone that you use when giving someone a compliment, especially if the person is an older person, like an elderly person, or somebody you really don't know, because you don't want to come out sounding rude, sounding sarcastic, or maybe even sounding offensive. So you want to be careful of the tone that you use when you're giving someone a compliment. It's very, very important. Okay, for example, maybe you want to give an elderly person a compliment and you're like, "Oh, mama, you look so sexy." Huh? I'm sure the person is going to feel offended because, first of all, a lot of people feel offended by that particular compliment. Yes, some people read the meaning of sexy, like when someone says you're sexy, as meaning you're beautiful, you're hot, and all of that. But technically, it actually does mean that you are sexually attracted to that person and you probably may want to have something sexual to do with that person. But if it's someone that you're acquainted with, or someone that is a friend, I'm sure the person may get where you're coming from. But imagine telling an elderly person, "Oh, mama, you look so sexy." It's just going to come off as very, very rude and very, very offensive. And you don't want to give somebody a compliment and end up receiving a dirty slap. You know what I mean? Or getting insulted, just because you gave someone a compliment. So guys, you need to really watch your tone when you're giving someone a compliment, especially somebody that is old, not old per se, like an elderly person, or someone you're not really acquainted with. Number two is avoid negative clauses. Some people, when they give you a compliment, there's just always the negative clause that accompanies it. And at the end of the day, what does that do? It takes away from the compliment. It rubbishes it and demeans that compliment and ends up making the person you were trying to compliment feel, some type of way. Remember, the reason why you're giving that compliment is something about that person elicited an emotion in you, and you feel like, whoa, I just need to say this to this person. So you don't want to demeaning or take away from that compliment because of a negative clause that was added to it. What do I mean by negative clauses? Okay, for example, you give someone a compliment, maybe a friend, you'll be like, "Oh, wow, you look so beautiful," but this thing that you just added just spoiled the whole thing. You've taken away from that compliment already. You know what I mean? If you tell the person, "Oh, wow, you look gorgeous in this dress, your hair, everything is complete," even if there's something that you probably feel was like it's off, you don't need to add that to the compliment. You are giving someone a compliment, remember? So you don't need to add that to that compliment. "Oh, wow, you look so gorgeous in this red dress, but this thing, the way you tie this thing is making it look ugly." You've spoiled that compliment, you've demeaned that compliment, and you probably ended up making that person feel not so good instead of actually making the person feel good. And then I also remember there is a compliment that when I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and she made mention of someone who shared something, a compliment that someone gave to her. Like the person was trying to compliment her baby, and the person was like, "Oh wow, your baby is so gorgeous. I never knew you could have such a beautiful baby." Ugh. And the lady said she felt really offended. And why not? You can't blame her. Because she was like, "So do you mean I'm ugly? Is that why you are saying that you never knew I could have such a beautiful child?" The person has completely ruined that compliment. In fact, as a matter of fact, that becomes like an insult. And if you meet some really, really fast handed people, because they could have landed one or two slaps on your face or like kind of insulted you before you know what is going on. So you need to be careful when you're giving someone a compliment, because I find that a lot of people do that. Like they're telling you how nice something is and they spoil it with that but, that negative clause. This thing looks really gorgeous. But even if you must add a clause to your compliment, make sure it's a positive compliment that is also supporting what you've already said, that is enhancing what you've already said. Okay. Number 3 is you need to be sensitive. I'm not saying that you should walk on eggshells because you want to give someone a compliment. No, 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 far from it. When I say you need to be sensitive, I mean you need to be, like, generally as human beings, we need to be sensitive of other people around us, whether you know them or you don't know them, because a lot of people are dealing with stuff. You can see somebody all glammed up, looking good, energetic and all of that, but underneath the surface there's something going on that they're not letting you see, or they're not letting the world see. So if you want to compliment somebody, you need to be sensitive. Okay, you don't want to scratch a soft spot. Let me give you an example. Maybe you meet someone, maybe someone you know, or maybe even if you don't know the person, but most likely somebody you know. Okay, so for example, you run into an old friend or an old acquaintance, and you'll be like, "Oh my God, it's been such a long time. Wow, you're looking so gorgeous. But you are now so fat, oh." Or you could be like, "Oh, but you are now so slim, oh." There's no need for that. It's also kind of like a negative clause, but it's insensitive because why? You don't know if that person is dealing with weight loss. Maybe the person is struggling to add weight. Maybe the person is struggling to lose weight. And then you come and say, "Oh wow, you're looking really gorgeous. It's been such a long time. But you're now so fat, oh, or you're now so thin, oh." And you would have just struck a chord with that clause, with that statement that you just said. The person might not even show that they are offended. They might still smile. A lot of us, when you get some kind of funny compliments, you won't want to just attack the person, because sometimes you kind of understand that the person is coming from a good place, even though there are some people that are shady like that, right? But you kind of understand that the person is coming from a good place, so you're not going to go on the offensive or attack the person. But the reason why you need to be sensitive, because that person might get home and start thinking like, "Oh my God, this weight, or this thing, this person even noticed it." But take for example, just assume that that person is actually having a weight struggle, and then the person gets a compliment from you saying, "Oh wow, you look gorgeous," and you left it at just, "You look gorgeous." The person is going to like, "Wow, even though I'm struggling with losing weight or adding weight, I still look gorgeous." So it will still help build that person's confidence, make the person feel a bit better about their current status. So you need to be really sensitive when dealing with people, especially when giving people compliments, especially if it's somebody you do not know. Now my next point is, don't fake it. You don't need to fake it, and you don't need to force it. I mean, if you're not feeling it, then leave it. Some people just have this knack of, just wanting to just give a compliment. It will show. If you're faking it, or you're forcing it, the person will feel it. Maybe you just said it and the person just like, this thing has to do with emotions. If you're not feeling it, and you say it and you just give that person a compliment, if you're not feeling the compliment and you just say it randomly, trust me, the person you're giving, telling, or complimenting will know. So don't fake it and don't force it. And my final point today is don't overdo it. Some people, they are in this department, like they overdo it. They can compliment your full life, like they can compliment you from your head to your toe every day, every minute. Don't overdo it, because if you overdo it, it's going to lose its value, and it's going to start making the person feel like, come on, are you sure this guy or this lady or this person is giving me compliment because they actually appreciate me, or are they looking for something else? And that's it. Yes, some people also give compliments for favors. Maybe they are trying to get something from you. So by giving you compliments every now and then, they are getting under your skin, things like that. It's wrong. It's not right. So don't force it, don't fake it, don't overdo it. Okay, guys? All right, so I want you to leave a comment for me below about this topic. I want to hear what you think. And if you have had any funny experience with people giving you compliments, maybe someone gave you a compliment that just didn't sit well with you, share it in the comment section below. Please, I love engaging people. I love to hear your thoughts on all these topics I always talk about on my channel. So do well to leave a comment down below. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you real soon in my next video. Mwah.